first page. Center of the page, centered vertically, centered horizontally. All capitals, all spaced. Capitals A, X, T, E, N, S, comma, double space, capital W, stop, space, capital J, stop, double line space, centered, centered horizontally, centered vertically, capital D, stop, capital S, stop, double space, digit 4. New page. Top of the page, left, all capitals, all spaced, all underlined. Day, stop, survey. End underline, double space, hyphen, double space. All underlined, digits 1, 2, TH, space, capital August, comma, space, digits 1937, end underline, stop. Double line space, into left margin, digit 1, stop. Margin, capitals, W, stop, J, stop, no space, all capitals, AXTENS, comma, double space, digits 1, 6, comma. Capital Granville, GRANVILLE, capital Mansions, comma, double space, all capitals, London, comma, double space, capital W, stop, digits 1, 2, stop. Double line space, into left margin, digit 2, stop. Margin, capital My job 2-day was chiefly concerned with the correction of line, indented paragraph, typescripts for a volume of reports.
Question. Is there an E between the P and the S?
Yes, PES overtyped. Typescripts for a volume of reports covering the position line of the capital co-operative capital movements in different countries of line the world between the years digits 1930, one is overtyped with a comma, and digits 1936, stop, double space, capital this type of line work is normal for me, comma, but this particular volume of RE-line ports is one of a series which has been published periodic. There is a hyphen inserted inside the C, line ALLY over a number of years, stop, double space, capital the work is much in arrears, line, as other publications have had to be issued before much, line, work on these reports could be done. Double space, capital now its publication, line, is urgently needed, comma, double space, and everyone who can be spared has, line, been put onto typing, comma, translation, comma, revising, stop, double space, capital hence 2 hyphen line day was a day of ALARUMS and excursions, comma, people working at line high pressure and quarrelling, as only linguists can quarrel, line, about disputed passages of translation, stop, double space, capital I had also a job, line, of capital English proofreading to occupy my spare minutes, comma, but, line, space, that was straightforward, space hyphen space, a normal job about this day, line, of any month in the year, stop.
Double line space, into left margin, digit 3, stop, margin, I, capital, felt bright and quite well throughout the day, comma, until after, indented paragraph, T, comma, when the sun came fiercely into my window, making me, line, uncomfortably hot, stop, double space, capital, then capital I, began to feel exhausted. Space, hyphen space, NER hyphen line, VOUSLY, comma, double space, A, continuous stretch of checking and revision, line, simply frazzles one apostrophe S, nerves in hot weather, space, hyphen space, and by the line, time I, capital I, got home, capital I, was almost too tired to speak, stop. Margin, capital The, weather was lovely all day, stop. Double space, capital It, began by being bright, comma, no space, with, line, indent, a faint mist veil over the sun, comma, and never got too glaring, line, indent, all day, comma, though the heat increased steadily, stop. Margin, capital I, had no dreams, stop. Double line space, digit 4, stop, into left margin. Margin, capital with, reference to this question, comma, it was fully answered in, line. Indent, the capital survey of digits 1, 2, th, capital July, stop, double space, capital nothing has altered in any of, indent, my home or office surroundings since then, stop. New page. Top left-hand corner. All capitals, all underlined. They survey, stop, and underline. All underline, digits 1, 2, th, all capitals, August, comma, digits 1937, stop. Handwritten into the hole, digit 1 out of the hole. Space, capital J, stop, capital A, XTENS, comma, line, directly underneath capital J, digit 1, digit 6, comma, capital Granville, capital Mansions, M slightly overline, line, directly under digit 1, all underline, all capitals, London, comma, W, stop, digits 1, 2, stop, double line space, into left margin, digit 5, stop, margin, digit 7, stop, digit 3, digit 0, hyphen, line, directly under digit 7, margin, digit 8, stop, digits 3, 0, stop, indent. Capital hath been awake for some time.
Question, awake for some time or awake sometime?
Awake sometime.
Indent, had been awake some time before finally roused by line mother, stop, double space, no letters for me, stop, double space, read, quote, capital news, capital chronicle, quote, line before getting out of bed, stop, double space, capital particularly interested in line the capital railway, capital wages, E and S are overtyped, capital decision, as my chief was a member of line that capital tribunal, comma, and capital I have heard some inner history of line the discussions at the meeting, stop. Line indent, capital breakfast, in a hole, fried bacon, comma, toast, comma, grapefruit, comma, marmalade, line T, comma, followed by DOES, transposed between O and S, of peculiarly nasty tonic, out of a hole, stop. double line space, margin, digit 8, stop, digits 30, hyphen, line, margin, digit 9, stop, digits 30, stop, indented paragraph, indent, took spray of clematis sent from country garden to line office. In a hold, capital small variety, comma, lovely crushed raspberry shade out of a hole, line, to show enthusiastic amateur gardener colleague, stop, double space, RE hyphen line, MARKABLY, few people in bus, stop, double space, everyone wears that look, line of pussy hyphen cat contentment that only comes of being COM hyphen line FORTABLY, warm all through without having to be heavily line clothed, stop. Triple space, capital, notice a gorgeous bed of bright crimson line dahlias with dark grey hyphen green foliage in public gardens, line in Fulham, stop. Double space, capital, read a little of yesterday hyphen S, quote, capital Manchester, line, capital Guardian, quote, comma, but immediately found O, U and N are overtyped. Everything pleasant, stop, line. Blotted out by recollections of capital Spain, stop. Double space, capital I have capital Spanish, line, friends on the capital government side, comma, and am greatly attached, ED overtyped, line, to the country, stop. Capital, keep on thinking of places and people, line, capital I know and feel miserable, stop. Quadruple space, capital bus very delayed by road, line, repairs in capital Chelsea, stop. Double space, capital saw, comma, almost 4, own R overtyped, the first time, handwritten comma, no space, A, line, really, art hyphen Y, person in capital Chelsea, space hyphen space, bright blue shirt, comma, amazing beard, stop. Double space, capital people in capital Chelsea usually look DEPRES hyphen SINGLY, ordinary, stop. Double line space, margin, digit 9, stop, digits 30 hyphen, line, margin, digits 10, stop, digits 30, stop, indented paragraph, indent, capital arrived at office on stroke of digits 9, stop, digits 30, into a hole, in taxi, out of a hole, stop, line, find out, capital, find out that it has started to be, quote, one of those days, quote, line.
Question, is there a space between B and quote?
No. Line, into a whole general title given by myself and my, single quote, stable hyphen mate, single quote. 4.
F, overtyped by hand, R, overtyped by overwritten by hand, R, overwritten by hand. Line, a day on which we are hustled, comma, badgered and driven out of the hall. Capital our room has already become the capital mecca of pilgrimage for, line, everyone else in the office, comma, as well as a few extras, stop. Capital my, single quote,
Question,
mate,
line.
line, capital my, single quote, mate, single quote, into the hole, capitals BP, comma, and capital Englishman out of the hole is in the capital German TRANSLA hyphen line TOR apostrophe S room as I capital I, go through, comma, engage in argument, insert mark, handwritten, between in and argument, space hyphen space, 2, line, which the capital Teutonic mind and the construction of the line capital German language constantly lend themselves space hyphen space on some line small grammatical point to which capitals SS into the whole capital German translator, comma, line, capital German, comma, man, out of the whole attaches enormous importance. Stop. New page. Top of the page, center right.
Capital question, space 4, comma. Top left of the page, all capitals, all underlined, day, survey, comma, digits 1, 2, stop. Capitals VIII, stop, digits 3, 7, space, hyphen, space, capital continued, colon, end underline, hyphen, space, handwritten in a hole, digit 2, out of a hole, double line space. Indent, capital arrives, comma, in tremendous hurry, comma, capital Frenchman and his wife on line their way to capital Victoria, comma, but bring in presentation copy of his line latest book into a whole capital industrial relations, space hyphen space, special observations, line made during a period spent handwritten T working in the capital BATA factory at line capital ZLIN out of a hole, comma, and asking some handwritten O final questions in regard to possible line publication of capital English translation, stop, double line space, indent, capital exit, capital French couple, comma, arrives another capital German translator, line, into a whole capital Austrian, comma, man, out of a hole, inquiring for copy, stop, double space, capital English typist arrives, line, also with vast script of report on industrial and AGRICUL hyphen line TURAL conditions in capital Poland to be checked, stop, double space, capital I start checking line with her, comma, reading aloud from the final draft, comma, while she FOL hyphen LOWS on a rough translator apostrophe S draft into a hole. The original was in capital French, F and R overtyped, E and N overtyped, comma, apostrophe, line, which means that, comma, in addition to looking for literals, comma, one line must keep a wary eye open, OPE overtyped, for mistranslations or specimens of line, single quote, translation, capital English, single quote, out of a hole, stop, space, handwritten asterisk.
Line, indent, capital, French translator comes in and is given hideous statistical tables. Error. STATIS hyphen line TICAL. Tables to arrange with capital French headings, stop, double space, capital the research line, worker responsible for these tables then arrives, into the hole, capital Russian, comma, line, man, out of the hole, and goes, comma, with capital BP into details E, T, and A overtype of their setting out for line printers, stop, treble space, capital German typist into the hole, capital Austrian, comma, woman out of the hole, comes in and RE hyphen line CE IVES instructions as to type in the headings for these line tables in capital German, stop, treble space, capital secretary comes in with sheaf of galley line proofs for monthly journal, space hyphen space, and capital I lay this aside for any line spare minutes during the day, stop.
Question. Single or double space between any and spare?
After any, it's a
line.
line.
Thank you.
Line, spare minutes during the day, stop.
Line, indent, Austrian typist and the capital German translator, comma, capitals SS, comma, give the line impression of being a stage army, handwritten, comma, no space. They come and go so frequent, hyphen, line, ly, comma, each always finding fault with the other apostrophe s version of line capital German text, stop. Triple space, capital whatever may be the prospects of an capital ANSCHLUSS line between their countries, comma, there is apparently none of an line agreement upon their language, space hyphen space. Each consistently takes EX hyphen CEPTION to the other apostrophe S formulae, comma, while equally consistently line into the margin handwritten DIS, handwritten insert marks, agreeing with the capital English rendering, stop. Triple space, capital idea seems to be that line no phrase in any language can possibly be correct except it line is written as nearly as possible in the capital German style, stop. Double space, capitals BP, line amiable into a hole. Amiability is his long suit, space hyphen space, most even tempered line soul, out of a hole, but firm, comma, and puts a long suffering foot down, stop. Line, indent, filing clerk comes in search of journals, stop. Double space, there is no line into the left margin, digits 1, 1, space, hyphen. Margin, cessation of this kind of thing until digits 1, 1, O apostrophe C, stop. Double space, capital, meanwhile, line, into left margin, digits 1, 2, stop. Margin, finish the capital Polish report, comma, correct some proofs, handwritten S, comma.
Make time to put away some documents in case we are both finally buried. Line, on the several weeks, apostrophe, accumulation, space hyphen space, some in folders, comma, for line, reference, comma, some pushed away in cupboards to be looked through, GH overtype, line, when E and N obscure by ink smudge, things grow slacker, stop. Double space, capital, suddenly hear vast floods of oratory,
Question is line
T
is of line
of line oratory, T and O obscured by ink smudge, in next room, comma, and realized that another linguistic line, half line, battle has broken out, stop. Treble space, quarrel, capital Q, handwritten, seems to have developed, line, into left margin, handwritten asterisk, capital sees a free moment to show capital BP, the clematis, stop. Capital he admires it, line, double space, and we discuss the sad fate of one of his space hyphen space eaten by mole, stop. New page. Top of the page, right of center, capital question space digit 4. Top left of the page, all underline, capitals day, survey, comma, space, digits 1, 2, capitals V, I, stop, digits 3, 7, stop, treble space, capital, continued, space, colon, and underline, hyphen, space, handwritten, digit 3, into the hole, out of the hole.
Double line space. Internationally, comma, the capital Russian, having joined the capital German hyphen capital AUS hyphen line TRIAN, engagement into whole capitals NB.
Question, A and I transposed?
No. Into a whole capitals NB, stop. Capital he had a capital German grandmother, comma, so he, comma, no space 2, comma, line, is an authority on that detestably convoluted language. Out of a hole, stop, double space, capitals BP, line, goes out to see if the storm can be stilled, semicolon, double space, it can, comma, and is, stop, line, capital everyone, comma, however, comma, in spite of arguments, comma, is good hyphen tempered, comma, line, which is not always the case when one of these arguments, DE hyphen line, VELOP, vertical scratch mark over an S, full stop. Double space, capital partly owing, comma, capital I think, comma, to brilliant weather, comma, and line partly to the fact, handwritten F, that our capital chief is abroad, transpose between O and A, stop, triple space, capital chief, comma, EXCEL, X is overtyped, hyphen, line, LENT, man, comma, and, comma, in reality, comma, much liked, comma, is as irrational as line the capital God of the capital Old capital Testament into a whole whom, O and M overtyped, he much resembles, comma, demanding, NG overtyped, line, constant sacrifices to his dignity and importance out of a whole, comma, his line caprices caused by a nervous temperament, irritated by CON hyphen line STANT, over hyphen work, quadruple space, with him in the office, comma, the staff think, line, lovingly of quiet retreats on the slopes of capital Vesuvius, stop.
Line, into left margin, digits 1, 2, space, hyphen, line, into left margin, directly on the digit 2, digit 1, stop, indent, capital, have a quiet, insert, handwritten, above line, half, main line, no space, hour with proofs, stop, double space, capitals say to capitals BP with annoyance, line, hyphen, space, quote, capital, apostrophe, VE, read, capital R, apostrophe S, article 3 times, and each time it, T, overwritten by hand, seems, line, stupider than the last, stop, quote, capital, he replies, space, hyphen, space, quote, capital, that proves he wrote, line, it himself instead of leaving it to his second hyphen in hyphen command, stop, quote, line, capital, go out into one of the other rooms and find the young filing line clerk looking tearful, space, hyphen, space. She says that heat makes her feel, line, clumsy, comma, and she has dropped or spilled I and L overwritten by hand, everything, E, overtype, she has, line, touched throughout the whole morning, stop, double space, capital, goes away dismally, line, spilling water out of the stamp roller, stop, indent, capital, another, comma, but less severe avalanche of visitors just before line lunch, space, hyphen, double space, capital, more typists with work for checking, semicolon, double space, secretary, line, with notes of amendments to be inserted in I overtype, capital news, capital service, copy, handwritten semicolon, line, junior, J, handwritten, clerk.
Lowercase j?
Yes. To take away my typewriter, E, R, E, and W, overtype. To replace someone, apostrophe S, line, which has gone PHUT, stop, treble space, capital, spend, last few minutes looking at line, some prints of photographs taken by capitals BP into the capital
Question. In the or into the?
in the capital V, OS, GES, and at line capital NANCY during summer school, CH overtype, stop, double space, capital, insist upon his looking at one line of mine which capital I have in handbag, stop, double space, capital, typical amateur photo, hyphen, into left margin, / CAN, margin, GRAPHERS, comma. We, / no space, both, produce a few prints of our own O overtype or some hyphen, line, else, apostrophe S, for inspection at any moment. Stop. Capital, DON, apostrophe T, think much of his, comma.
Question. Is that a triple space between stop and capital D?
No.
Line exposure, comma, as usual, comma, 40, stop. Double space, capital pity, he does not buy a meter. R and E has a transpose, stop. Line, capital do not, comma, however, comma, make any tactless remarks, stop. Double line space, into left margin, digit 1,
Question, double line space or treble line space?
double line space. Into left margin, digit 1, space, hyphen, line. Into left margin, justified beneath digits 1 and hyphen, digit 2, stop. Margin, capital lunch hour in restaurant next door to office, stop. Into a hole, capital boiled lamb apostrophe s, line tongues, comma, marrow and cabbage, comma, and black coffee, out of a hole, full stop, double space, capital wrote birth hyphen, line day letter to friend and enclosed a photograph of capital Dorset, line coast as greeting card, stop, treble space, capital office, door, O is handwritten, not open on return at line a few minutes to digit 2, stop. Double space, capital while waiting for capitals BP with the key, have ANI hyphen, line MATED, conversation with capital Austrian typist, comma, who is new to the half line space staff, comma, about exploring capital London, stop. Double space, capital she is an ardent sightseer, comma. New page. Top of the page, right of centre, capital question, space, digit 4, comma. Top left of the page, capitals, all underlined, day, space, survey, comma. Space digits 1, 2, stop. Capitals VIII, stop, digits 3, 7, stop. Quadruple space, capital continued, colon, end of underline, apostrophe, space, handwritten in a hole, digit 4, out of a hole, stop, handwritten, stop.
Double line space, margin, and we talk of the capital Wallace connection, comma, capital Hampton Court, comma, the...
Is that capital court?
Yes. The line, capital London Museum, comma, etc, stop, double space, capital she says, line, hyphen, space, quote,
Question, says line, question, says space.
says space, hyphen, space,
Quote,
quote, capital I have only to see, line, into the hall at the latter museum, out of the hall, capital Queen, capital Victoria, apostrophe S, grey gown and, line, her little bonnet, comma, and capital I can picture the whole period, line, as well as her personality, quote, stop. Double line space, into left margin, digit 2, space, hyphen, indent, capital prospects of the capital ANSCHLUSS promise better, comma, but the, into left margin, justify under digit 2, between digit 2 and hyphen, digit 3, stop, margin, general, mate, hyphen y, hyphen NESS, which has setting in next room rather, line, noisier than the morning, apostrophe S, arguments, stop. Double space, capital, feel very sorry, line, for the woman who reads and notes the day apostrophe S journals into the hole, line, capital Welsh, comma, and terribly uncertain tempered, out of the hole, who has to en hyphen, line, dure, the racket, stop, double space, capital wonder why, capital German, cannot apparently be, line, spoken under a shout, stop, double space, capital also, wonder why, comma, when the THE overwritten, overtype, no space, capital French, hyphen, line, women, read aloud, it sounds as if they were repeating, line, prayers in church, and when it is the capital German women, they, line, sound as if they were drilling an awkward squat, stop, indent, capital, having no typewriter, have to make notes with pen, stop, line, capital, very tedious, comma, as I, capital I, write, comma, normally, comma, a vile hand, comma, and the line, effort to make it readable is considerable, stop, double line space,
Double line space, into left margin, digit 3, space, hyphen, line, justified, into the left margin, justified beneath digit 3, and hyphen, digit 4, stop, indent, capital T about,
question, justified between digits 3 and hyphen above, digit 4 stop,
digit 4, stop,
or is there a hyphen after digit 4?
no, digit 4, stop, indent, capital T about digits 3, stop, digits 2, 0, stop, double space, capital share my cake, into a hole, rock buns made by line mother, out of a hole with capitals BP, stop, triple space, capital am very interested to see one of the line big wood pigeons from the park come onto my window sill, line, to take the crumbs, capital I, scattered there for the ordinary line grubby roof pigeons, stop, double space, capital he is very lovely in the sun, comma, handwritten neck, line, all iridescent, comma, with a brilliant pinky hyphen brown beak, comma, very, line, thick and strong compared with those of the other pigeons, line, capital have never, NEV overtyped, seen one of these pigeons on the windowsill, line, before, comma, in spite of the capital park and capital Dean apostrophe S capital yard being so, line, close, comma, but expect that, comma, as capital I often leave crumbs and grain, line, on the sill overnight, comma, they have discovered where the food, line, is to be found,
Question,
stop,
where the food,
where the food, line, is to be found,
there is a the after where.
I'm sorry, no, where food, double line space,
Is to be found, stop,
yes, double line space, into left margin, digit 4, space, hyphen, indent, capital work goes on quietly, comma, with the exception of continued, NUED overtyped, line, into left margin, justified beneath digits 4 and hyphen, digit 5, stop, digits 3, 0, stop, margin, incursions by capitals SS, comma, who seems to be suffering from an line extra fidgety hyphen NESS on grammatical points 2 hyphen day, stop.
Capital at, line, digit 5, stop, digits 3, 0. Capitals IK into the hole, the capital Russian out of the hole, comes in to get some information, line. On the summer pruning of his apple trees from capitals BP, stop. Capital he has, comma, line. Most amusingly, comma.
Line after has, comma.
Yes. Taken like a dog to water to capital English sub hyphen urban life stop double space final incursion of capitals SS in transport of FUS hyphen line SINESS comma and thereafter he goes out and shuts the office, line. Door before capital I have returned from washing, stop, double space, capital I, comma, therefore, comma, line, have to trail round until capital I, handwritten, can find the master S, handwritten, key to line our set of offices, comma, to let myself in to get my hat and new page. New page. Top of the page, right of center, capital question, ST overtype, space digit 4, comma. Left of the page, top. All underline, capitals. Capitals, they survey, comma, digits 1, 2, stop. Capitals, VIII, stop. Digits 3, 7, stop. Treble space, capital, continue, colon, end underline, hyphen, space, handwritten into the hole, digit 5 out of the hole. Double line space, margin, handbag, stop.
Double space, capital on, going out, capital I find yet another set of our offices line into a hole which form 4 self-contained, C has been overtyped, suites in one building out of a hole. Has line been left open and am obliged to go round closing doors, line, and windows, stop. Double space, capital exit from office at digit 6, O apostrophe C, comma, very peevish, comma, tired, line, and terribly hungry, stop. Double line space into left margin, digit 6, space, hyphen. Line into left margin, justified beneath digit 6 and hyphen, digit 7, stop. Indent, capital home in digits 3, 2, bus, stop. Double space, capital people, comma, all hot and rather cross, comma, sit on line, me, and capital I get still more peevish, stop. Double space, capital C placard, quote, capital assassination, line, of capital dictator, quote, and immediately, MER overtyped, wonder if it is capital OLIVIERA, transposed between E and I, line, into a hole, capital SALAZAR, out of a hole, space, hyphen space, capital I, no it is not one of capitals the, dictators, comma, or the line name would be given at once, space, hyphen space, and, comma, if so, comma, if it will lead to line disturbances which insert, no space, will prevent me going to capital Lisbon for my line holiday, stop. Triple space, capital
Question, for me holiday or for my holiday?
for my holiday.
Double space, capital find, comma, from subsequent placards, comma, that it is in capital IRAK, stop, line, capital personally relieve, comma, as capital I have not direct association with line, capital IRIK, stop.
Question, IRAK,
IRAK, stop. Double space line, into left margin, 7 space hyphen, indent, capital at, indent, capital at, home talking to mother about day, apostrophe S, happenings, space, hyphen, space, her, apostrophe S, line, into left margin, justified, between 7 and hyphen, digit 8, stop. Margin, as well as mine, stop. Double space, capital she has been to the doctor, space, hyphen space, is recovering, line, from nervous shock, space, hyphen space, recovery very slow, and she is inclined, line, to be discouraged, stop, double space, capital doctor says that this is to be expected, comma, line, patience is the only thing, stop, double space, capital have, short rest on bed before line, supper, stop, treble space, capital supper, digits 7, stop, digits 3, 0, into the hole, capital chops in casserole, comma, peas, comma, potatoes, comma, line, milk pudding, comma, pineapple chinks, CHINKS, out of the hole, stop.
Double space, capital conversation, no space eat, supper with line aunt, staying in flat, stop. Double space, capital very trying, comma, both mother and aunt, line, exceedingly deaf, semicolon, comma, have to talk very loudly and with harsh line emphasis to make them hear, space, hyphen space, usually they DON apostrophe T, stop. Double space, capital find that, line, capital I am getting the habit, comma, no matter with whom capital I talk, comma, of saying, line, everything 3 times. M and E are overtyped, space between E and S. Space, hyphen space, first, R is overtyped, to call attention to the fact, line, that, A is overtyped, capital I am speaking, comma, second, comma, knowing they will not hear, H is overtyped, comma, and line third, double space, F, 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 underlined. Double space.
Question, did you say double space between third and FFF?
Yes. Double space, to make them hear, stop. Double space, capital both always adopt a pained line expression at the third repetition, comma, despite the fact that they, E and Y are overtyped, line, have previously heard nothing, comma, and seem to resent the fact, line, that capital I am shouting, comma, but would, comma, of course, comma, be much more pained, line, if capital I gave, V and E are overtyped, up before BEF overtyped, capital I apostrophe D, handwritten capital I apostrophe D, made them hear what capital I had to say, stop.
Line. Capital, after supper, go back into my room to be quiet for a few more line minutes, comma, double space. Then go back to do more talking, stop, double space. Capital, they have had, line, enough of each other at the end of a day, comma, and want someone, error, M instead of N, line, different to talk to, stop. Double line space, into left margin, digit 8 space hyphen, indent, capital, listen to, single quote, capital FOL hyphen DE hyphen capital ROLS apostrophe stop, double space, capital post brings bulletin from, into left margin, digit 9 space hyphen space digits 10 stop space capital Spanish capital relief capital fund stop, double space, looking for a fan, comma, find capital Maria apostrophe S red line and white fan giving me some year space S smudge between R and S apostrophe smudged. I go after a very happy line time with capital Spanish friends line hyphen with capital Spanish friends space hyphen space feel dreadfully miserable, comma, space and line begin once again to think of capital Spain, stop, double space, capital bed soon after digits 10 semicolon, red line for a while and then complete notes of day survey, stop. Last page.